Hello everyone, good morning all of you. Welcome to you all in today's third online lecture of chapter number 6. And the name of chapter number 6 is The Junk Seller. Now today we are going to study and learn some sums about this chapter. Let us see the sums regarding this chapter. First we have to study how we have to conversion of rupees to paisa. As we know already, 1 rupees is equal to 100 paisa. So in this you have to remember this formula and convert given rupees into paise. So first 23 rupees. As we know already, 1 rupees is equal to 100 paisa. So 23 rupees is equal to question mark. So what you have to do? You have to just do the multiplication of 23 and 100. So 23 multiplied by 100 is equal to 2300 paise. Here another question. 67 rupees. Now here we know that again rupees is larger unit and paise is smaller unit. So when you have to convert larger unit into smaller unit, just do the multiplication. So here you have to do the multiplication of 67 and 100. So 67 multiplied by 100 is equal to 6700 paise. Here another question, rupees 20. Again 1 rupees is equal to 100 paisa. So 20 rupees is equal to question mark. So just do the multiplication of 20 and 100. So 20 multiplied by 100 is equal to, we can say that 2000 paise. Another one, rupees 45. Do the convert big unit into small unit. So what you have to do? You have to just do the multiplication. So 45 multiplied by 100 is equal to 4500 paise. Next, 79 rupees. 79 rupees is big unit. When you have to convert big unit into small unit, just do the multiplication. So here we have to do the multiplication of 79 and 100. So 79 multiplied by 100 is equal to 7900 paise. Now we have to convert paisa to rupees. As we know already, 100 paisa is equal to 1 rupees. So in 100, how many zeros are there? 2 zeros are there. So in given paisa, last 2 digit is considered as paisa, and before that written the digit that is known as rupees. Let us see with one example. Here 456 paise. So see here, in this number last 2 digit is considered as paise. So here 56 is considered as paise. Now before 56 what is written? 4. So 4 is considered as rupees. So we can say that 456 paise is equal to 4 rupees and 56 paise. Now, in another method, we can say that when any small digit, small unit convert into big unit, at that time, what you have to do? At that time, you have to do the division. So here we have to do the division of 456 and 100. So 4 is quotient. So 4 is considered as rupees and 56 is remainder. So this 56 is considered as paise. Now your next one, 321 paise. So again here 321 divided by 100. So here in 100 last two digit is 0. So here we can say that last two digit, that is your paisa, and before that they were written 3. So 3 consider as rupees. So your answer is 3 rupees and 21 paise. Now 8970 paise. Now you can see here we have to just do the division of 8970 divided by 100. So in 100 last two digit is 0. So in 8970 last two digit is 70. So 70 is considered as paisa, and before that 89 is there. So 89 is considered as rupees. So our answer is 89 rupees and 70 paise. Now your last example, 542 paise. Now here we have to do the division of 542 divided by 100. So we can say that in 100 last two digit is 0. Therefore we can say that 5 rupees and 42 paise, that is the answer. Now we have to count some money. How we have to counting the monies? Let us see. 3 notes of 20. If you want to count the money, then how can you count money? See here, 3 notes of rupees 20. So here first note of 20, second and third. Now what you have to do? You have to do the addition of this all 20. 20 plus 20, 40, and 40 plus 20, it is a 60. So we can say that if there are 3 notes of rupees 20, then the total money is rupees 60. Now another method of counting the money. If you want to count the money by another method, then you have to just do the skipping by 20s. If there is a note of 20 rupees, then skip by 20. So here 20, after that 20 plus 20, 40, and then again 20 skip. So it is 60, 60. So this is the another method. Now another third method, what you have to do? You have to just do the simple multiplication of number of notes multiplied by money. See here, what you have to do? Here you have to just do the multiplication of 3 and 20. 3 multiplied by 20, 1 0 is there, so just put 1 0 on right hand side, and then 3 2s are 6. So you get the answer 60. Let us see one another example. 5 notes of rupees 50. So just skip 50 rupees, 50, 100, 150, 200 and 250. So 5 notes of rupees 50 is equal to, we can say that 250. Another method, do the multiplication. 5 multiplied by 50, 1 0 is there, so you just put 1 0 and then just do the multiplication of remaining number. 5 5s are 25, so you get the answer 250. Now 6 notes of rupees 200. So here how many rupees are there? 200 rupees are there. So just skip by 200. 200, 1 note, second note 400, 600, 800, 1000 and 1200. So 6 notes of rupees 200 is equal to 1200. Now here you can do the multiplication also. In a 200, how many zeros are there? 2 zeros are there. So you just put last 2 and then do the multiplication of remaining number. So 6 2s are 12 and after 12 just put 20. So it becomes 1200. Now if you want to find out the number of notes, how we have to find out the number of notes? Let us see. How many notes of rupees 50 make rupees 300? See here. Number of notes is equal to total money divided by money of one note. So here what you have to do? Here you have to just do the division of 300 divided by 50. 1010 cut and 30 divided by 5 is equal to 6 notes. So your answer is 6. Next, how many notes of rupees 20 make rupees 180? Here again we have to find out the number of notes. So number of notes is equal to total money. Here in our question, what is the total money? 180, that is your total money, divided by money of one note. What is the money of one note? That is the 20. So do the division of 180 divided by 20. So 180 divided by 20, in this 1010 cut and 18 divided by 2. So your answer is 9 notes. Now again, how many notes of rupees 500, 100 and rupees 5 make rupees 620? Now you can see here they were given the different denominations to you, different number of notes to you. You have to find out, and again they were given the different notes to you. In our previous sum they were given only one denomination, one note to you. Whereas in this question they were given the different notes like 500 rupees notes, 100 rupees note and 5 rupees note. So what you have to do? You have to write down first of all total money. How much total money? 620. From this 620, first you have to subtract the larger numbers notes. In this rupees 500, 100 and 5, which one is biggest? 500. So just subtraction of 500. 620 minus 500. Here we are taking only the one note of rupees 500. So 620 minus 500, that is the 120 rupees is remaining. Now from this again you have to see which notes is remaining. So we can say that here two notes are left, one of rupees 100 and second one of rupees 5. So here again from this two, which one is the biggest? 100. So just do the subtract 100 from 120. So 120 minus 1 note of rupees 100 is equal to 20 rupees. Now here if we want to make rupees 20, so how many notes we need of rupees 5? So we can say that first we are using 1 note of rupees 500. Then again we are using 1 note of rupees 100. And how many notes we want to complete rupees 20? So we can say that we want 4 notes of rupees 5 to complete the 20 rupees. In another word, we can say that if we want to make rupees 620, then which notes we want? So we can say that we want one note of rupees 500, then again one note of rupees 100, and then we want four notes of rupees 5. Let us see one another question. How many notes of rupees 100, 50 and rupees 10 make a rupees 230? So in this again we have to write down first total money. Total money is 230. Now from this we have to subtract one note of rupees 100. So minus 100 is equal to 130 rupees. Now from this 130, if we are taking the two notes of rupees 50, then two notes of rupees 50, it becomes rupees 100. So again minus 100, but this 100 makes with the help of two notes of rupees 50. So minus 100 is equal to how many remaining? 30 rupees is remaining. Now if we want to make rupees 230, which notes and how much we want? Let us see. First we are using one note of rupees 100, then we are using two notes of rupees 50, and then if we want to make rupees 30, then how many notes we need of rupees 10? So we can say that 3 notes of rupees 10 we want to complete the rupees 230. Now, what is buying price? Buying price is known as cost price also. See here, when we purchase anything from the market or from the shop, we have to give some money to the shopkeeper. When we are purchase anything or that thing from market or that thing from the shop, if we purchase that thing, then we want to give some money to the shopkeeper. So that money is known as buying price, and that buying price for us. Now, what is selling price? When we are selling anything, we are getting some money, and that money is known as selling price. If we purchase anything, if we purchase one book from the stationery and the cost of that book is rupees 20, so that 20 rupees is considered as buying price. And when you reach at your home and someone wants that book, so you give that book to them by rupees 30. So this 30 is known as selling price. Now interest. What is interest? When we purchase anything or borrow something, we have to pay some extra money. So that extra money is known as interest. If you borrow rupees 100 from any of your friend, and at the time of the return you give 110 rupees. How much you borrow? Rupees 100. How much you pay? Rupees 110. So you gave rupees 10 extra to your friend. So that rupees 10 is considered as interest. Now what is profit? If the selling price of anything is more than the cost price, or we can say that if the selling price is more than buying price, then the business has gained its profit. Then we are getting profit. When we are getting profit, if we sell anything, if our selling price is more than our cost price, or we can say that if it is more than our buying price, then it is known as profit. Now, what about the loss? If the selling price of any of the commodity or any of the thing is less than the cost price, the cost price is known as buying price, then we can say that the business has loss. Here one mistake is there. Here you have to just do the correction. Then the business has lost its money is known as loss. Now let us see some sums regarding the interest. Here I am giving some amount to you. After that, amount with interest, it means we can say that paid amount I am given to you. So you have to find out the amount of interest. If you borrow from your friend rupees 500 and at the time of the returning you have to pay rupees 570. So you can see here you give some extra money to them. How much money we are giving extra to them? Let us see. Just do the subtraction of 570 minus 500. So that is the rupees 70. So here 70 is considered as the extra money. This 70 is considered as the amount of interest. If you borrow 956 from your friend and at the time of the return you return rupees 1015. So what is the amount of interest? You can see here you give some extra money to your friend, but how much? So what you have to do? Do the subtraction. 1015 minus 956 is equal to rupees 59. So this 59 is considered as amount of interest. Another example, 723, that is the amount, and at the time of the return you return rupees 852. What is the amount of interest? Do the subtraction of amount with interest minus the amount. So 852 minus 723. Rupees 129 is considered as interest. So we can say that when we borrow rupees 723 from our friend, from any of the person, and at the time of the return we gave 852 rupees. So this extra money 129 is known as interest. Now another example, 1232, that is the amount, and at the time of the return you gave rupees 1339. So what is the amount of interest? Do the subtraction. 1339 minus 1232 is equal to, we can say that, 107. Now rupees 2009, that is the borrowing money. At the time of the return you gave rupees 2246. So that difference is known as the amount with interest. Now let us see about the profit and loss. Here I am giving buying price to you, then selling price to you. After that you have to decide whether in that there is a profit or there is a loss. And if there is a profit and if there is a loss, then how much you have to find out. So see here. First, your buying price is rupees 35. Means what? You buy something from a market or from a shop by rupees 35. And you sell that thing to anyone by rupees 40. So here your cost price, your buying price is rupees 35, means you purchase that thing by 35 rupees and you sell it by rupees 40. So there is a profit or loss? There is a profit. And profit of how much? Do the subtraction. 40 minus 35. So we can say that there is a profit of rupees 5. Another one. If you purchase anything from rupees 135 and you sell that thing by rupees 165. So in this there is a profit or loss? We can say that there is a profit because our buying price is less than its selling price, or we can say that our selling price is bigger. Therefore there is a profit. And profit of how much? So do the subtraction. 165 minus 135 is equal to rupees 30. Now 185 rupees, that is your buying price, and the selling price is rupees 210. Here your selling price is bigger than your buying price, therefore there is a profit. And profit of how much? Rupees 210 minus rupees 185. So 210 minus 185 is equal to rupees 25. Here your buying price is rupees 390, whereas your selling price is 325. You see here, in this question your buying price, your cost price is bigger. Therefore, we can say that whenever your buying price is bigger, at that time there is a loss. And loss of how much rupees? 390 minus 325. So what is the answer? 65. So there is a loss of rupees 65. Now if your buying price is rupees 270 and your selling price is rupees 246. Again in this question you can see here your buying price is bigger than your selling price. So again there is a loss, and loss of how much? Do the subtraction. 270 minus 246 is equal to 24 rupees. So we can say that in this there is a loss of rupees 24. Thank you. I hope you understand these all topics very nicely and clearly. So do more and more practice and complete your assignment.